So you've seen Form 926, the form and its instructions, and the 2 pages of definitions that are relevant here, which he's posted before, but he's amplified nicely.
Arthur.
So I've got my UCC ready to go, but I'm sure, from what I gather here, we're not changing the non-UCCs, but we will be adding some more paperwork to it to make the claims. So anybody else have been working on this?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
If you have anything you want to bring out about it? He's made the basic instructions pretty clear. Okay. So have everybody got the documents up so we can go over them?
Which documents are we going over?
Well, we have a new folder out there called Claiming Your Labors. And there's Form 926 and the instructions for Form 926. It's F926 and I926.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a series of definitions as a Republic Civis document. And the other one is a United States corporation slave. And then the last PDF you just put up there a few minutes ago was the contract to surety bonds claim process, a page brochure that he found.
And that's on the econcurrent.com, right?
It's in econcurrent.com. It's on the Skype group and in the Yahoo group.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I talked to Patrick yesterday, and he said that we got to include the IRS form 926.
Right.
I was hoping that we could actually go over that and maybe set some of that out because we've got it ready to go out.
Well, and that was the form that we posted this afternoon.
Oh, is it on the Yahoo group or on the eConcurrent?
Oh, both. On Yahoo, Skype, and eConcurrent. So you should have it up in front of you now. I see if you just did a new file. You may have revised this file.
What is it under? Is it under the zip files or docs?
Pardon?
Is it under the zip files, forms, or docs?
No, it's in the new folder. Exact name of Claiming Your Labor. And there's only about 12 files in there.
Number 39.
Oh,
right.
Thank you.
Number 39 on eConcurrent. It's not numbered on Yahoo.
Okay, got it. That helps. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And he's just done a new document, American Republic Courthouse. So I'll take that and post that up there right now.
Okay. It's under file, number 39.
Well,
so the 956 or 926 is up there. Oh yeah, there I see it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's there. I'm on it right now. It's right there at the very bottom.
But it's not filled out. That's kind of what I was hoping that we could do. Is the second one filled out?
Oh. No. Second one is the instructions.
Oh, yeah. I had a couple of questions. So I printed mine out and I filled it out as much as I could, but I had a couple of questions.
Oh, well,
Is Patrick here with us yet, Tom?
no, he'll announce himself when he's on here. But let me get this new file posted up on Yahoo.
Okay, it's Patrick. I'm on the line now.
Yeah, Patrick, I'm just posting your new Republic Courthouse up on Yahoo.
Okay.
Oh, you already had it out there. Okay. Oh no. Okay. And then I'll put it in the Skype group.
Hey, Patrick. I was hoping that we might be able to go over the 926 form today.
Over to the what form?
The 926, the IRS.
The 926 form?
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty simple. Basically, you're going to put down as the transferor, and
Right.
your Social Security person, and then you're going to be your 98 series person is going to be the transferee.
Right. I got that part.
And then basically you just attach a copy of your non-UCC to it. Say here, have at it.
All right, yeah, because it seems like most of the other stuff really didn't apply.
No, we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to basically make it just transfer or and transferee and say here.
Right. And then I had a question about the 98, because I've got a bunch of other 98s that are not attached to my social, but it's like a trust, or just a random name.
Well, you're going to have to get with them and find out which one 98 you need to use, okay?
Okay.
You should only have one 98.
Okay, and get with who?
Well, where'd you get it?
Oh, I got the 98. I got a foreign 98 that doesn't have my social attached to it, because when we have to get them now in our straw name, they need a social.
One thing I'm going to tell you people right now, you need to stop playing games with this, okay? You've been listening to too much Patriot gobbledygook out here in the process and screwing up your post office delivery system, doing all this other garbage out here that's going to cause you delays and other harms in the process. Okay? This is America. This is our country, okay? Stop trying to play like we have to beg for things. We own this country. These foreign corporations, they don't own the country, and it's ours. Our post office is our post office. Okay? We claim that. We get the mail delivered to us. Don't try and hide it, sneak it off to somebody else, and screw up the damn process.
Okay.
The way a lot of this other stuff. I had Tom post a document up there talking about 4, okay? You as the living, you're the agent for your fictional persons. So you sign for them. You can read the definition out of Ballantyne's dictionary. You as the agent always put for the principal. You're signing for him. The principal remains the liable party for the settlement of the action. Now, all these bar attorneys, all these cops and everything else out here in the public democracy government that we have, they're operating as solicitors, pimps, whores, prostitutes. Solicitation is prostitution. They're trying to get funds from you. And then give you nothing in return in most cases, except a good hand job or whatever. Most of them are blowhards, so it's something else. You have to be able to understand that we are the ones that are in control here. All labor belongs to us. Okay? They don't do labor. They're trying to take our labor away from us. Just like Adam and Eve, when they ate of the fruit of the tree, they set up the first government out here over poor little Cain and made poor little Cain work his ass off for their benefit. Yeah, they were the government, Adam and Eve. They were very piss-poor parents, too. That's why they got thrown out of the Garden of Eden. Because they were not operating honorably. They didn't give Cain his just labor, and he had to basically kill his fictional person. Then he got his labor and he left town. This country was supposed to be a republic. Our forefathers, for thousands of years, have labored in this America for the benefit of a lot of other people. But the treasury is stored here, the labor of our forefathers. We were entitled to an inheritance of that labor. We have labored out here also, adding to that. And in a lot of cases, under these fraudulent constructive labor contracts with our fictional persons. That labor also belongs to us because those persons belong to us. All these construction contracts, basically, they are holding our labors. We have to basically come into the Department of Labor, which is this depository for all of these construction labor contracts. See, they're under a construction contract. Therefore, they have to have a performance and a payment bond associated with that contract. Now, these solicitors, public solicitors that we have out here now, they keep changing the rules and regulations of these contracts. Adjusting the speed limit, adding seatbelt violations, adding this and that. You look at them cross-eyed, you give them the finger. Basically, they're going to charge you. They write it into their damn corporate contracts with all these damn representatives, nitwit representatives that we've got out here, that half of them, over half of them, are basically bar attorneys. Weasel worders, what I call them. They couldn't tell the truth if the truth was staring them right in the face. Because they're all out there for their own profit and gain. And they will step all over you as much as possible. This country was founded upon that there was not to be a debtor prison in this country. The courts were to basically go to the treasury and get the debt for a debtor and have it set off. That's right in the very first volume of the statutes at large. You have to go into your state Department of Labor and also possibly into the federal Department of Labor. But you put an order in, as you are the agent for your principal on those contracts, and order the release of the labor from the Department of Labor to pay the debt. This is per the UCC, which is the Roman Republic Universal Codes of Law. And we are a republic of the Roman Republic. This country was a republic long before our founding fathers set up this Constitution here. Rome was trading with the Americas way before. The Scots and the Irish basically were going across the ocean when they were under the control of the Roman Empire. The last legion out of England basically migrated over to America in about 500 AD. St. Patrick was the patriarch, Roman patriarch, over the Americas, over Ireland and Scotland and the Americas. You're not going to find half this shit in the damn any research you do. You've got to be able to read between the lines and see, hey, this makes sense. You've got to start thinking outside the box. You've got to fill in the blanks that are missing. The bankers are never going to tell you the whole story. They're only going to tell you what they want you to believe. You're all worried about the Rothschilds and everything. Well, every church is also a bank. They're banking on your stupidity of them controlling you and also controlling your assets under mortgage accounts. They operate under the dead more than basically the government does by the cemetery system. See, when you start thinking about this, find out why the colonies, like North Carolina and the colonies back 250 years ago, used to hang these damn bar attorneys and religious ministers that were coming in from one of these corporate banking churches. They came into that colony and basically they were to be hung. They did not want these foreign bankers in here. But because basically we had a bunch handing out free frying pans and lightning rods and everything else, basically people got struck with, oh, I need to have insurance. I need to have insurance. And then all of a sudden, basically the bankers came in with the rest of the banking securities in the process and got everybody under these constructive contracts voluntarily. you can unvolunteer at any point in time. But you have to do it with a non-UCC and then also with this 926 form and transfer the assets back to the de jure treasury, labor treasury of the country. Then you can stand as an American Republic bailor, grantor, bailor, and help restore the de jure Republic public servants back into the system, because you're going to release the credit, the labor credit, to pay them out of the de jure treasury of the country, labor treasury. And you put an order out to basically expedite and get these other fraudulent ones out of the country. You guys are smart enough to figure out some of these forms. Okay? You go and try and change what I've done here on these labor non-UCC and try and make up your own format and everything. You try and keep with the same format until it's proven wrong.
Patrick,
nobody else out here is talking about anything about labor. You need to have a 98 series EIN number, because you've got to transfer this back to the Philadelphia Treasury, and that's where you get that 98 series EIN number. So you still do need that 98 series number. Now that I see we have to fill out this transfer IRS form. Then you send your letter up to the Department of Labor at your federal district, at your state, and at the regional district. You'll send also a copy of the non-UCC, a cover letter, the 926 form to the local regional district IRS office, possibly the AIQ office also, and then also to the regional IRS office, and also to Philadelphia. Let the IRS go and do the collecting for you.
So, Patrick, we're sending the labor claims to the state and federal Department of Labor. We're sending them to these 3 different IRS offices. And are we still faxing them to the trustees?
I would send a copy to trustee too, yes.
Okay. Okay.
If you even want to hit up the bankruptcy judge, you can put them on notice, and even that chief judge for the federal district. He's the chief banker for this federal district. I told you the government is nothing but a banking system. Okay. Anybody have any questions on this stuff? Read those documents that I had posted up there. There should be some good information, especially that one about how you sign something. You sign as the agent for the principal. You go into court. You sign a traffic ticket. You sign as the agent for the principal that's on that traffic ticket. You're not the principal. The principal is the liable party. The contract, the fiction that's on the contract, that's the person that has to pay. In other words, the contract has to pay. You get your claim forms, your wage claim forms from the state, and you can submit those in and say, here, court, now you go and get the funds from the Department of Labor. I'm releasing these labor to make the payment. The du jour money of the country is labor. Now, if these guys do not comply, they are in violation of the UCC laws. If they don't process it, then they're refusing, then there is no charge. But you have to make the offer for the payment, and the only lawful payment, debt-free, is by labor. There is no debt associated with labor. There is no tax on labor either. And see, that's what most of these people, these other gurus and everything out here, are totally missing. I did hear one of the guys, basically this Adam, or ex-Vic Beck, up there in Canada, start talking about the baptismal certificate that I've been talking about for years. The baptismal certificate basically is a document that proves you are alive, because they cannot baptize a dead fiction person. They can't even baptize a dead body. Period. So the baptismal certificate, along with your living land birthing document, you have your two powers to be that you are a man or a prince on the land and a prince on the sea. And you stand as a republic, principality.
Patrick, can I ask you a question? Because I've only been kind of in on the last few weeks with you, and I remember originally we were going to use our baptismal and our hospital certificate, and that was going to be part of this claim, which I know it's now not part of it. Are we supposed to do something else?
You put those into your private record. You have them on hand. You don't need to file them with the county. Okay? You put them in your Bible. Okay? Your Bible is your official banking book. If you don't believe in the Bible, then basically you might as well leave this country, because this country was founded upon the Bible. If you want to call it the Koran or something like that, or some other thing, but basically you've got to operate with the republic laws, and basically baptism is one of the things that has been in the Bible from the day one. Three-quarters or two-thirds of the earth is covered by water. One-third is by land. If you're only standing with one leg on land, you're going to be missing out on the rest of the earth.
That makes no sense.
That means you have no right to go out on the ocean and fish or anything like that. Harvest, draw anything from the seas. You got to think about these things logically. And then you'll put the pieces together. We've had the answers right in front of us. The movies have told us bits and pieces of this all along. The people refuse to open their eyes and open their hearts and open their minds to gain the knowledge and understanding. Most people run around here with closed mind, closed eyes, closed hearts, you name it. They're just closed up. They're going to do it their way, and that's it. Because that's the way Grandma and Grandpa told me to do it. And I can't go against them. They lived their life as slaves out here, and basically that's what I've got to do too. I've got to live my life as a slave, and basically then I'll go to heaven happy. Bullshit. Your heaven is right here on earth, right now.
What?
Okay. I'm done ranting and raving. Anybody got any questions? Read the documents. I've got a whole bunch of information there. You can stand up to these bar attorneys. You start getting with the sheriff, and you start letting them know that you are a republic civis out here. And you have authority over these foreign bar pimps and whores. Those were supposed to be republic courthouses. They're not supposed to be prostitution houses. And that's what all these damn foreign bar attorneys have turned them into. Houses of prostitution. You get your car. Basically, you turn that certificate of title back into the state. You claim the value for that labor contract. You take the license plates off. You send them back in. You turn your driver's license in too. You claim that. Then on your vehicle, you take any advertisements off of it. That car dealership always tries to stick an advertisement on there. That places you into the commercial system. If the cop sees that on there, basically he knows that you are operating, you're operating for hire. Because you've got to be operating in the commercial system if you're giving away advertisement. Then you put not for hire on there. Also, no solicitation on there. Then the cop can't come up and try and solicit you to accept a traffic violation when you have the right to travel and you have not caused any harm. You can either put that you are operating under the Republic law, or the law of Christ, in, for, and of. You fly an American flag that has the 13 stripes on it. Cop sees that, sees nothing else on the damn car, basically they ain't going to touch you. Because you must know something that basically they are scared of.
I have a question.
Yes.
On this UCC where you were doing filing liens on the bar agents.
You
what
forget
do you
that
do?
for right now, okay? You get
Okay.
your own shit. Okay?
Okay.
You
The question I
file
have-
your stuff on your contracts.
All right.
Forgive and forget. Say the Our Father 10 times, okay?
okay.
You might learn something from that little prayer.
I don't know what his question was. You jumped on it.
You've got to get that chip off your shoulder of I'm going to go back after these guys right now. When we get out of the system, we will have gotten them in more ways than you can shake a stick at. Because now, if they do anything, they're dead meat. They will hang themselves in the long run because they will refuse to believe anything that I'm doing here. But they can't stop it. And if they do cause you harm and you've gotten out of the system, you will have the your government step in and take them down for you. You will have the real public servants working for you in the background. Okay? You agree with that or disagree with it?
I agree.
I agree. I think so. The only problem is I had an American flag on there with the banner of peace with the 13 flags vertical, 13 stripes vertical, private civilian.
Wrong flag.
I didn't hear you yelled.
Wrong flag. You have the red, white, and blue with the stars and stripes.
I had a blue field with little stars. I had the banner of peace. I had the white field.
That is not the recognized one that goes on the ships out on the ocean, okay? You fly the American flag.
Okay, I did the wrong flag then.
Yes. See, that's almost like all these patriots flying the Do Not Tread on Me flag or the Confederate flag. Hell, you're just marking yourself as you're a foreign nitwit. That you don't know who you really are to be protected by.
Yeah, I didn't know all these stuff back then. I did that like
I know.
2010.
And that's what you've got to get on. You've got to add to your knowledge and move forward. Yeah, we did a lot of things back there. Hell, 2008 I was doing some of this stuff. I didn't have all the pieces. We went to bankruptcy court. If we would have had this non-UCC and this 926 form, when about 4 of us went into bankruptcy, one in Texas, a couple guys in South Carolina, another girl out in Ohio, and me here in Iowa, we would have been out of the system that day.
Right.
We had all the players there.
Patrick, what's the right flag? Is it with the 50 stars and the 13 stripes?
The red, white, and blue one, yes. But they fly in the courthouse and fly outside the courthouse.
All right.
13 is the number of man when he has understanding. So when you understand that that flag is there to protect you, you have the full understanding of what those 13 stripes are all about. Originally, there was only 13 stars. Now there's 50, probably more than that. They just don't have enough room to put all the other states and everything they claim on there. Of course, they're not going to make Puerto Rico a state like a lot of the Caribbean countries because they needed those territories to be set up for their mortmain accounts, offshore mortmain accounts.
Mortmain.
What's a mortmain account?
It's a dead man's account.
Oh, okay.
See, that's what goes on with the churches in the cemeteries. They place a claim over that body in the ground.
Wow.
Take a look at the cemeteries. Well, this portion over here belongs to the Methodists. This portion over here belongs to the Lutherans. This portion over here belongs to the Roman Catholics. All of those different banking churches have banked the assets, put a claim against those mortmain dead man accounts, coffins. And in some cases, 999 years.
They solicit their parishioners to sign up for the legacy, to give their legacy to the church when you first join.
Yes.
I know they know exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and that's just a banking contract.
Yeah. They don't want to try to get it when they're alive. They say, oh, you can have it when I'm dead.
Well, they pump you in church, so they're soliciting you in church. They're nothing but pimps and whores in the churches.
Yeah.
Getting funds from you, getting labor from you. For what? They tell you a little story out of the damn Bible you could have read yourself. And you go there and you sing a song or two. Oh, yeah, we had a good rock concert today.
It's like you said, it's communism. It's all for them.
Yeah.
And they're usually family-owned, too. Family-run business.
Man, I just had a thought about all the veteran memorial cemeteries and graves, you know?
What's that?
Yeah, they do the same thing there.
Oh, bury all the soldiers.
Yeah, the Defense Department's gotten into that one.
Yeah.
They don't worry about killing off American workforce because they're going to make a profit off it down the road.
Sick.
Got very little time to get this shit done before they try and pull the plug. If nothing more, just to get your total recognition that you are not a debtor in the system and that you have claimed some of your labor and you properly passed it over to the de jure treasury of the country. And more than likely, that 98 series number, that will be your passport and your passbook savings account, your driver's license, whatever. You're not a driver, but it will be your operator's license to operate as a grantor, bailor of the Republic.
So we're actually going to be bailing the Republic out.
Yes, we've been doing it all along, but now we're going to be doing it up front.
Yeah.
So that they don't have to be acting as solicitors, prostitutes, and whores trying to pump us fraudulently in the damn process. Therefore, they will, the ones that we get and start bailing them out, they will not be classified as debtors anymore. They won't be going out and signing up with the foreign bankers to get money. We will be giving the labor to them, full faith and credit, just like it says in the Constitution. The full faith and credit is the labor of the country that we will grant to them to operate. But the bankers tried to prevent that in the process. Therefore, they got all of these government offices and everything in as debtors, as public debtors and public solicitors, soliciting the population out here into these fraudulent contracts. So that the bankers and the government both could make a profit off of you. You might say that the banks are really the pimps and basically all the other government agencies are the whores working for the pimps. And like I said, prostitution is illegal in this country. Solicitation is illegal. And that's all they're trying to do in any of these damn courts. And then basically find out, hey, this is a Republic courthouse. Are you guys, as a foreign bank, solicitors, are you paying rent to use this Republic courthouse? I want to see your payments, your rent payments.
They're private. They're not even registered with the Secretary of the State, so they must not have to do anything.
Oh, they do. But you've got to get into the right capacity and get the right enforcement people out here. You've got to get over into the Republic side as the bailor and the grantor. And then basically you will start granting the funds to the de jure people to go out and operate without being classified as a debtor under the control of the bankers. As long as they're under the control of the bankers, you don't have control over them.
Patrick, is there like a critical mass of people that need to do this in a certain time to flip it?
I don't know.
All right.
Seems to me that there was only Moses, and basically he got all the people out of Egypt.
All right.
Seems to me like there was Jesus, one man, basically stood up. Daniel, one man stood up to him. And then you had three others, Meshach, Shadrach, and Vertigo, or whatever the hell his damn name was.
Indigo.
Stood up to him. Yeah, it only takes one to start the process. Jesus had 5,000 people that he taught the truth to. How many showed up to defend him when he went into Jerusalem? Not one. Yeah, they were all sitting around as doubting Thomases, like half the people on these calls and everything. Well, I'm going to wait until you get your shit, and then I'll do it. Well, just by that time, it may be too damn late. Just look at what happened to Jerusalem 70 years after Jesus was there. Basically, the Romans came in and literally destroyed the place. Left not one stone standing. It's your choice. But you've got to work for it. Okay? This is your labor. That you have to get the labor of understanding. Just like the 12 labors of Hercules or whatever it was that he had. And it is a Herculean task to try and overcome. But now when we've broken it down, it ain't that hard. The remedies are right there. See, that UCC is a Roman Republic document. It's out of Rome. It covers all the real banking laws that have to be complied with.
Not only that, it's non-statutory in nature.
Right, because it's out of the Roman Republic, and we are under the Roman Republic out here.
Does everybody comprehend that the non-statutory is superior than a statutory claim?
Now, statutory laws were only written for corporations.
Correct. So what I'm telling you that a non-statutory claim is superior to a statutory claim.
Right. Now, the living always stands over a dead corporation. And see, we're the shareholders of most all the corporations anyway, because the corporations can't own anything.
No, that made it a living entity. Did you not know that?
But see, all of our fictional persons, they got their assets, their letters of credit, labor credits from us. And then we've been supporting them in the background by going out and laboring and funding the bonds that are out there. All the debt of the country is really owed to we the people.
Yeah, that's why they want to kill us.
Eventually, yeah, if we don't get out of the damn system and move our assets over to the de jure side and stand as a grantor and bailee over them. But if you
Downloading it.
continue to stand as a debtor in their scenario, in their eyes, they can do whatever they want to you. Because you're not going to be heard when it comes down to the crunch time. Okay, anybody else have any questions, comments?
Patrick, I have this traffic ticket that I was going to submit. I have an affidavit and a UCC to submit for it. I have not sent my claim to the Department of Labor yet. Should I send them a court-stamped copy of what I'm submitting?
You can give it right into the court and say, here, you go and you file this into the Department of Labor. I'm ordering the release of these labor credits from this principal. I'm coming in as the agent for the principal, and I'm ordering the release of those labor credits to pay this traffic ticket. Now, if they don't take it, then there is no charge. And then if they don't take it and they still try and charge you, then guess what?
Make some bonds.
No, that is slander.
Oh.
And that is a violation of the UCC law, and you could take them into a federal court and file charges against them in an Article 3 court.
Okay. So they have a warrant for my arrest right now because they say that that my request for disclosure, they never received anything.
You have to get in there and you have to find out that state labor claim, wage claim form from the state labor department if this is a traffic ticket, and then you take that into the court and you order them to go to the Department of Labor for that driver's license person and pick up the labor to pay the bill. You are giving them lawful money, and there is no debt associated with labor. But you pay with Federal Reserve dollars, and there's still a debt hanging out there.
Okay. I was looking to slip in and out because I don't have all week to sit in jail. I don't think they like my request for disclosure. So I guess
you
I can
get
do that
your non-UCC done, and basically you have that in your hand and say, here, I have the authority over this process, and I am coming in as the agent. Read that document that I posted up there. You can go into the dictionary and read in Valentine's what it says about for. Vic Beck, on his call the other night, said if you use the word for, you sign as the agent for the principal. And see, they're only charging the principal. They're not charging you as the agent. But if you sign by your name, you have just assumed the liability. But if you sign for the principal and order the release of the letters of credit, then the principal is the one that's liable for the payment. In other words, that driver's license account that's held in the Department of Labor is the one that owes the bill, not you.
Patrick, would you mind repeating what you just said about the agent and the principal and the for?
It's on the document. You sign your name, like in my case, Patrick, Devine, agent, for. And I would put for in all capital letters. Patrick, Devine, all capitals. The principal for this item.
Okay, thank you.
I have power of attorney for my brother. I'm going into the court on Tuesday for a traffic ticket for him. I'm going to come in as the agent for his fictional person that's on the driver's license and order them to set it off. If they don't, I will turn to the sheriff and order him to arrest them. These guys already know that I'm standing in a hell of a lot different position than most people out here.
Patrick, I got a quick question. We're getting ready to send all of our stuff out tomorrow. Are we still faxing anything to the Secret Service for the U.S. Marshals? I kind of missed that.
You can if you want to.
All right.
Depending on what you want to tell them, okay? Oh, I've been told I don't know how many times by the Secret Service, don't send us anything more. And I turn around, and about 2 weeks later, I'm starting to send them more faxes. I have not been charged once with paper terrorism out here. And I have sent more shit out than anybody out here. You can just take a look at the thousands of documents that I have posted over the last 8 years.
Yeah, very good.
I'm not scared of these guys. I don't bend over backwards to go out and try and antagonize them, though, like some people try and do. You don't go over and kick a sleeping dog when he's a damn pit bull. He will probably bite the living shit, take your leg right off.
Not only that, until everyone that's in is out, when you do something like that, you're considered that belligerent, and it's not coming in peace and forgiving, like Patrick had said about the forgiveness.
Yes, in some cases, basically, you will be unseen. I mean, you'll be driving around like I am in my car. Basically, passed the cops the other day, pulled up to the stop sign, highway patrol on one corner, on my right-hand side. I didn't have my seatbelt on. Pulled out right in front of him, drove across the deal. He turned around, and he kept going straight across his way. I mean, it's almost like they don't see me. Not that I'm really trying to hide from them or anything. I'm right out there in the open.
Hey, Patrick, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I was born on a military base in France. My dad was in the military. They're both citizens. And then I came back and changed my name. I legally changed my name. Now I have a consular report of birth in my new name. And I filed a bunch of paperwork. You know, I got it recorded, but everything is in my new name. So I should just use I've merged the name, and my consular report of birth has all the CSET numbers and all the numbers associated with it, so I should just continue to have I merged those identities, or should I treat them as separately?
I don't know. I'd have to see the damn documents, but basically, you should be able to go and find out when you get a copy of your birth certificate. What do they issue you out right now?
Yeah, well, I got my certificate of birth came from Dean Russ, the Secretary of State in Washington, and it's signed by authentication officer in my original name, but they gave me a consular report of birth to the Office of Authentications after I gave them a certified copy of my name change. So really my new name, my consular report of birth that was recorded in Strasbourg that shows I was born on a military base, you know, is in my new name.
I got a question for you. Why'd you change your name?
Because I didn't have a good relationship with my father. My mother died, and he put his hand on us a lot, and I was a junior, and I didn't want his name at the time. I mean, our relationship's different now. I love him, but I felt like I didn't have a name. My mother had died. We were in a plane crash when we were kids, and he hit us.
Your father's not your only family, okay?
Right.
Grandparents, basically, your lineage, okay?
Yeah.
See, people get out here and basically, we are our own worst enemy in most cases out here.
I see. Nevertheless, 30 years ago, I did change it, and I have a counselor report of birth in my new name.
Well, basically, if they have you down under the new name, and basically they're giving you a certificate of live birth under the Bureau of Vital Records and under the State Department seal, then basically go with it, okay?
Yeah. Well, they don't give out
series
birth
number and
Okay. I got you. I have a birth certification of my old name, but I get it. So I did get a 98 number, but it wasn't another name when we were undergoing another process. But so I'm going to get a new 98 tomorrow, and all caps name Living Trust. Is that correct? And then
it doesn't necessarily have to be. They will sometimes send that out later on from the other IRS. They put everything out in all caps. But in the du jour, to get that 98 number, you had to call them up, and basically they knew that you were the living person requesting that 98 number. Okay? You can only get that 98 number by talking personally to them. Okay?
Which I'm going to do tomorrow.
Therefore, it is capital first letter, small letter name that is getting that 98 series number. Now, the other IRS out here will try and put claims in against it. They're soliciting from you charges fraudulently. Trying to, and see, that's what all these penalties and everything are. They're solicitations.
By getting me to try to identify with a corporate fiction because I haven't, but I'm proving I'm secure. I have secure creditor status, grantor Bailey. So.
Yeah, and all you have to do on these documents is basically you sign as the agent, the living agent for the fiction.
Right, for the principal.
Put "or" in there, okay? Pull that document down that I have there.
I have that. I've been listening to you. I've been taking notes. I'm going over all your material, and I don't want to take up a lot of time. I just want to thank you for all your help.
Okay.
So peace. God bless you.
This is too simple. We've got it broken down now, okay? Now, I don't know how Vic's going to make out up there in Canada. He's supposed to go in this next week and meet with one of the deals up there in Canada, but basically he's not talking about labor. He's not talking about he's just talking about giving everything back over to the Crown or whatever, but I think he's given it over to the wrong organization. Okay?
Right.
See, Canada was part of America. Canada fell under the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence applied to all of North America, whether people want to recognize it or not. South America has their own Declaration of Independence for all of South America.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah, Chavez, basically you can check it out with him. He knows that basically they're operating under a independence and basically as a republic down there too. They set up all their constitutions pretty much on the basis of the Constitution of this country.
Like the Iroquois Constitution.
Yeah. It was the Roman Constitution. It was a republic constitution. Because everything is under the Roman Empire. It's not under the English Empire. And that's what basically too many people out here have gotten in under this damn English crown bullshit. And all the monarchies out of Europe, basically they went rogue against the Roman Empire, and that was the clay over the iron.
So really,
the real law is the Iron Republic, Roman Republic law.
I see. So that document that I have a birth certificate from the Roman Catholic Church from the military ordinance. It's like a homestead document. It issues both my father and my mother's original name. That's a valuable document then. I include that too?
Yes. Basically, that shows that you were alive and that you were now a prince on the water. Jesus didn't get out of the system until he got baptized.
Yeah. No, I've got things recorded in Georgia standing.
Well, you put them into your private Bible. Okay.
I get that now.
Everything, all our documents are to be private documents.
I get it now.
We are a government unto ourselves. Okay, we stand higher than that clerk of the court. The clerk of the court or the county recorder, they are just public servants. They're just recording public documents.
We're closer
we want
to
private documents. We record them in our private banking book, the Bible.
I get it.
Okay.
I get it now. I get it. The non-UCC and the registered mail. Last thing, is there anything that we can do for you?
No.
Do you have a PayPal account, or how are you compensated? What can we do to help you?
Love. Just love what I'm trying to put out there and try and honor in the process.
Okay, well then I'll
That's the word. Help other people.
I will, brother.
Okay.
I'll pray for you and visualize you ready and holy and healed and carry the message. Thank you and peace.
Okay.
Hey, Patrick, can we go back to the 98 for a second? My friend David just got one recently, and he asked for a confirmation back, and it came in all caps, but I'm going to let him tell you.
No, Daisy, whatever came back in, just go with it, okay?
All right.
Put it down on this 926 form as the transferee. That's where the 98 number goes. Your Social Security person with all its attachments goes up there as the transferor.
Got it.
I'm not going to ask me.
And then just attach a copy of that non-UCC to that document. Say here, I don't know the value of any of this stuff. Refer to the attached. Go and get these labor contracts. You settle them up. Read the instructions on there. It talks about 10% on there. Penalty. Well, shit. There's the 10% tithing that they have to process the settlement. I got to thank Dick Beck for that one. Basically, he said, we got to transfer these things. So I said, okay. I typed the word transfer into the IRS forms. And I said, give me all the IRS forms that talk about transfer. And then I started going down through them. I found this 926 form, said, shit, here it is right here. It even talks about the 10% tithing. So I said, this is what we need to do. We need to get the IRS involved and let them go and pick up our assets for us. Transfer them over to the IRS and the de jure Treasury in Philadelphia. See, the de jure Treasury did not move to Washington, D.C. The Office of Secretary of Treasury moved to Washington, D.C. but the Treasury itself stayed in Philadelphia. Okay, anybody else have any questions? If not, call tonight, Tom.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
Good night.
Thank you. God bless you.